Hi folks, it's Ash here again, and we're picking up where we left off on the Mexico DLC campaign. Our current task is to supply Brownsville, Odessa and Houston with various different commodities. One being logs to Brownsville, another is tools to Houston, and also canned food to Odessa. We also have a fourth objective, which is to run passengers, 100 of them, from way down in Mexico City all the way up to Houston without any stops. So there's a lot of track laying we're going to have to get done. Our time frame is pretty good. Our first objective is due in 1882, and I'd be very surprised if we don't get them all completed by at least, say, 1880. I think that should be more than enough time for what we need to do. So far, we've got logs going to Monterey, about to start bringing the iron into Monterey as well, and then we're going to put a tool manufacturer here and then link him up to Houston, and that'll cover one of our objectives. So let's just pick up where we left off and get these tools moving. So I'll go ahead and put another station here for now. There we go. And this is going to be shipping the steel, which is the best way to bring him through. Probably jumping this track here. Have to bridge again, that's okay. And again, but yep, that's no problem. Although it's wanting to use a tunnel rather than a bridge, which I'd prefer to avoid because the bridges are cheaper. Let's see if we can coax a tunnel out of him. A bridge rather, well, can, but it's still actually cheaper to do it that way. Okay. That's fine. I'd have liked a shorter bridge. I'm sure with a bit of fiddling we could have got a shorter bridge, but we'll take it. So now we can just bring him into a empty platform. It's an expensive stretcher track, which is why, as I said in a previous episode, you do need a strong economy in this, so you're not waiting around to be able to pay for these extensive lines that you're going to have to run at this point. Just slow it down. I'll keep it running in the background, but don't want it running at full speed. I brought him in the wrong way, haven't I? Should be okay. Should be okay. Won't be the most efficient, but it'll do. So we'll want 2 supply towers. We'll put one by the city and then one just before the merge. Four trains should be enough here. We can make a start bringing the canned food up to Odessa. Fortunately, placement of his station has left us with little choice but to take this route. Again, I would prefer a bridge to a tunnel. Perhaps if I... There we go. Should have just done that on the last line, but never mind. Okay, so now we want to go... Okay, we'll go this way. So we'll pass over that river, head down in this direction, pass over that river. Yep, still head in the right direction. Pass over that main line. Can we squeeze through here? I think we can. Squeeze past him. Trying to put it in such a way that that's not going to fully block him out. I've come the wrong way. DME. Okay. Just take this back. To that point and then come down that way. Over him. Through the little valley there. And then he's free to hook up there. Excellent. Just try and iron this out a little bit. There we go. So it's costing a lot of money, but we are doing quite a few bridges, so we're just going to have to deal with that. Structural engineering will be a big help, but we're going to get the cash before we get the tech points. Of course, our second line is going to be noticeably cheaper due to the parallel track savings that we make. So that one was 674, and if we look at this one, we can expect to pay a much lower price, 430. And then we can start shipping the canned food out of, into Odessa, not out of Odessa. We want to supply it with it, not take it away. There we go. Just slow the game down. Put the signals on the line. Put a supply tower here. Here. And one about there. 3 should be plenty. Too expensive. There we go. Okay, so I need to redo that line. That's no problem. So canned food. Make sure you're fully loaded. Go for 5 trains here. Okay, so just take stock for a second. The canned food is done. We may as well get the logs, because that's a nice simple one to achieve. And they are going to Brownsville. Just snake in that little pass. Jump across. And we'll leave him there for the time being. There we go. And then we want a small station, because we're not resupplying anything else. Although if we could supply steel to that city, there is already a tool manufactory there. I prefer to own my own because it'll boost our economy, which is going to come in handy later on when we have to buy out his company, which, spoiler alert, is the final task you have to achieve. Buy him out. So if we can get our strong economy set up and, you know, strengthen it even further, then buying him out is going to be a much quicker process. didn't set the full signals up. There we go, now we did. One's going to be enough there, I should hope and think. Just slow it down a second. I think it's 20 loads it requires. So 3 trains. There we go. Okay, now we just need to wait. In fact, while we're waiting, may as well make a start and get the steel connected. I think for this one, I'm going to be struggling in terms of space. So we may be better off coming in this way and just paying for a tunnel through the mountain. So with that in mind, we'll keep the game running in the background to let our money accumulate so we don't have to wait as much. 1.1 million for that tunnel. Ooh, that's steep. Taking our total to 1.4, but that's fine. I'm happy to pay that, just about. Oh, sorry, I already checked the research and stuff that I wanted at this point. I want to save up. We will need to expand this station as well, so.
Again, a robbery. Those bandits will no longer question the authority of my state. Therefore, I have decided to expand my police force, the Guardia Rural.
There we go. Not particularly bothered by his bandit attacks. You can do that all day long for the time being. You can sit there looking all smug about it because it's not affected me at all. So, well played, sir, well played. Okay, so we need 410 there or thereabouts for our second line. And then it's a case of just getting the money together to buy out that industry and replace it. Which, thanks to the bidding war we'll enter into, is not going to be cheap.
A small gift from our friend Diaz. The Texan is able to buy our shares on the Mexican market, but sadly we don't have a license for the US market. I'll take care of that.
So I don't want to start the auction yet, because I don't know how high he's going to be prepared to bid up on the price. In fact, can I? Yes, I could take out a large bond. Well, I think a 2 million one should be more than enough at this point, so now let's go ahead and... Oh, I already own it. What an idiot. Okay, let's demolish it and put the tool makers in here instead. And immediately expand his size. So now we can continue our line to Houston. There we go. Now we can start moving our tools, working towards that objective. go for 5 trains. Now we want to bring in a line from Mexico City to Houston. Ah, that's a nice little feature. I'd never noticed that before. Well, I didn't notice it last time I played. Very nice, very pretty. We have some more there, look. Ah, nice little detail that. Well done, devs. We will go through this line before we finalise it, just to get rid of some of those unnecessary tunnels, sorry, bridges that it's decided to provide us with. There we go. Oh, I forgot to go through it. What an idiot. What a massive idiot. Oh well, no harm. I will need multiple supply towers here, probably 3. Yes. Passengers and mail only, please. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, let's just have a look how we're doing on our tasks. The canned food is almost completed. The logs is completed. Just drive his price up. I think I'll go for one more. 896. If he outbids me, he's welcome to have it. If we pick it up, it's not the worst thing in the world. It'll add to our profits. And we've picked it up. But we've managed to reduce the price by 224,000, which is nice. Do with expanding, not the station. Expand him out a bit. You're not getting any steel. Did I not put any trains on this line? Oh, for Christ's sake, what a major error. I thought I had done this. Sure, I put trains down. Yeah, there's one of them, look. Oh, did I look from the wrong station? What we can do is the shipments of steel to Odessa, to El Paso, beg your pardon. Is actually prevent them from taking steel. Oops. There we go. So why is our track utilization at 0% here? Have I done something dumb? What's going off here? Why is this? Where are all my trains? What is happening? Several trains waiting to be activated, okay. Oh, you actual idiot. Oh, for crying out loud. Did not realise I'd already set up a line for that run. Jesus, well, that was stupid. Rather foolish. Never mind. So we do know the steel is coming in. Okay, that's good. What it may be worth doing is putting a second siding in on this line. There we go. That's all good. So the steel should now start to arrive. Can we? No, it's only level 2 city, so we can't expand any further. So we're just waiting on the tools. That's almost done, and that's over halfway. So the steel's arriving. There we go. Not much of it, but got more regular trains coming in bringing the steel now, so it's all good.
It's proving to be more difficult than initially thought. I fear we'll have to grease the wheels of bureaucracy with some dollars before we get access to the US
Okay, so the tool's now being shipped. The passengers are nearly done. If I remember correctly, the next stage is just to purchase his company. To help us do that, I can expand some of my businesses. So we start turning bigger profits. Like this. He's already his max capacity. Expand him out in a big way. Where was that? There was a distillery that we picked up, so that needs sugar. Let's just have a look where the nearest supply of sugar actually is located. They're all down here. There's one. What I could do is, what are we shipping in there? Let's just check his getting logs and steel. Okay, so just change him to... Heck, let's have a furniture industry. And then we can... he'll already be bringing logs in, so that's fine.
I'm getting a strange feeling about this. The competitor is buying our shares on a weekly basis.
So what I want to do is repay that bond when I'm able to. Should be pretty soon. Company, that was it. So he wants to purchase that grain farm, does he? Or maybe I do too. Especially since your train station is servicing it, you're going to make money for us.
Finally, I just received a telegram proclaiming our access to the U.S. stock market. Now we shall strike.
Oh, just too slow. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at the stock market price for his. So it's very expensive, 362,000 per 1%. Okay, so it's going to take a lot of money to buy him out, which is why you need that strong economy built up. So what I'll do is I'll repay the bond, max out our bonds again once I'm able to. And then use that money to invest in his company. A total merger at this point is around about 60 million. We can buy, let's take a big chunk, 30%. And what we need to do now is just keep growing our economy. So we generate money that little bit faster. Go ahead and put an industry in here. And what we got nearby? Let's have a meat industry. It's just down here we have cattle. Okie dokie. Have it your way. So it's situations like this where I never know whether it's better to stick or twist in a sense. And by that I mean, are we better off buying up as many industries as we can, which is obviously means that we're not spending money on his shares, but is a trade-off that we make money faster, so in the long run we actually pick up his shares faster? Or are we better off literally doing nothing else but buying up his shares? I tend to think the best option is to buy up the industries. Okay, missing equipment. Let's put a supply tower in then. That will see to that. buying up those industries in Mexico City would be nice. I want to buy that one. Get ready for the bidding war. Here we go. And I want to replace it with perhaps a dairy factory to produce cheese. Since we have milk right here. Don't think I'm going to get there. No, I'm not going to get the cash in time for that. See, he is very aggressively expanding at the minute, which obviously increases his company price. Now let's go ahead and remove that. Put the dairy farm in. And get some big expansion in. Maybe an idea too. Link across here. Which will allow us to supply cattle to Houston. Since we bought that meat industry. It would be silly not to use it and supply it. Go ahead and do that. Now let's so he's got 14%, so we're still well ahead. I'm being blindsided by him picking. Okay folks, so at this point I'm just gonna speed up the game speed, well the recording footage to 4 times the usual speed, simply because this next section, when run at normal speed, drags on and on for quite a while, and there was very little commentary at the time, because not only was it a case of just waiting through, but also it was extremely early in the morning and I was very tired, so providing a decent quality commentary at this point just wasn't happening. So I've made the decision just to accelerate it. This will help keep the video length to a somewhat reasonable time, and also you'll not be watching just pure video footage with no voiceover, no commentary, because as I said, there wasn't much going on during this section. It's just a continuation of what I'd been doing previously, just looking for ways to increase how much profit I was making each week and each month, as well as try and combat his own company growth. Now, the best way I found to combat his growth is if he was bidding and putting auctions up for various different industries, whether they be rural, raw material industries or city-based industries. compete with him and try and buy them out instead of him, even if we had no real intention of using them. Just so it keeps his company value low. And that obviously, because the company value will affect his share prices and so forth. Especially if he starts turning big profits, it'll start costing an extreme amount to pick up his shares. So it's just a case of fighting him, and as I said, expanding where I could, whether that be expanding the level of the industries that we already own, or increasing the amount of trains running between the industries, or even picking up new industries and making sure they connect up to our cities. And from time to time I would also go through existing cities that had industries already in place, buy them out, and then replace them with something that could turn a bit more profit. As you saw towards the end there, before I accelerated the footage, I'd purchased the chemical factory that was present in Mexico City. Now that wasn't making any money because we didn't have a supply of coal heading into Mexico City. So I picked it up relatively cheap and then just removed that industry and replaced it with something else. I think I replaced it with a cheese industry because I was already supplying milk from the nearby dairy farm. So I knew I'd be able to make decent profits on that, which means we get picking up money that little bit quicker. So the idea is, because you're generating money faster, the time that you're waiting in between buying up his stocks should be reduced. Now, obviously, there's also the argument that if you don't spend your money on anything, such as new industries or expansion or new lines and stuff like that, then perhaps you can save. You're not having to spend, speculate to accumulate. You're just just purely saving your money, and perhaps that's the way to go. Perhaps you get to the figure to buy him out quicker. I'm not sure. I've never actually ran a test to verify, because any sort of test would be difficult, because you'd really need in fact, it wouldn't be difficult. What you'd have to do is you have to set yourself up to a point, save the game, and then one playthrough you use a strategy where you expand your company through extra businesses, or increasing the size of your current industries, or adding more track down, connecting more cities, more trains, that sort of thing, and see if overall the extra profits you're generating help you buy his company out quicker. See what sort of time frame you manage to do that in, and then revert back to the save point before you branched off, and then instead just don't expand at all. Keep your money as it is, so you keep your company as is, and just let your money accumulate as normal, and then just keep on buying him and see if you can buy him out quicker that way, because you're not spending the money on industries and expansion. You're spending it purely on purchasing his stocks and buying out the competitors. So that may be something I try at some point, just to compare and contrast and see which method truly is the quickest way to go about it. But obviously the thing is, if you do try the second method, where you just literally sit, wait for your money to build up, buy a chunk of stocks, then wait for your money to rebuild, buy another bunch of stocks, and so forth and so forth. Even if you do get that, reach your end goal that little bit quicker, if you are recording the footage, it's not going to be very interesting gameplay. Just watching the bank balance increment by X amount each month. At least if you go down the route of picking up industries, expanding your existing businesses, and putting down new tracks and new stations, and there's something to watch and something to talk about, rather than just a waiting simulator almost. So I suppose that there's trade-offs to be had. Now, I like this DLC itself. Can't remember what price it was. I think it was about £7. Hopefully we'll get more scenarios added in the future. I do like the fact that in this scenario we have two different routes you can take. Obviously in this one I decided to go down the capitalist route, where you work closely with Stanford and open your industries to the US markets and US consumers. Next time I'll play it through again, but instead I'll go for the as the game likes to term it, Mexico first option, and see what objectives we have if we were to follow that route. I imagine the end game would be the same. If you stuck with your president, then I imagine Stanford would bribe his way in and open up Mexican markets to Don Lorenzo, who can then, as he's doing now, expand into Mexico. And your final objective, I'm sure, is going to be to buy out his company. Obviously, I can't say for certain, but I do think following this route, you do make more money. I haven't seen what the objectives are for the alternate path you can take, but this one I do know. Yeah, it's very industry focused, as we saw. Shipping coal and oil and petroleum, furniture, logs, all those sort of things to the various cities and the US cities. It's the capitalist way. That's what the game even refers to it as. So the name implies perhaps this is the more lucrative of the two paths you can take, which if it is, then it sets you up nicely for the end game when you have to buy out Don Lorenzo's company, because you've got this big industry and this big empire already set up that's generating you obscene profits. So the time you're waiting between stock pickups is probably reduced, but obviously I'll not know that for certain until I explore the second option and try the Mexico first route. Now at this point, as you can see, we're getting very close to be able to merge. We own 99% of his company. I think we needed about 800,000 to merge, and we slow it down now, and yep, there's the merger. I'll go ahead and sell his tracks for 12.5 million, just because it's quite cathartic. So now we can go ahead and see what sort of rating we achieved. Obviously the video title gives it away. I did get a president rating on this. I think the score was 39 point something or 32 point something. We'll find out in a second. Let's have a look here now. 39 exactly, and you get the two Steam achievements, Viva Mexico and El Presidente. So yes, all in all, a very successful scenario. Pleased to get president at the first time of asking. Having it on very hard was difficult towards the end, especially when you needed to buy him up. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I shall see you in the next episode, whatever that may be. Thanks for watching.